Casual games may be one of the most controversial topics in TF2, and for good reason. It was a massive change for the community, really for the entire game itself. The thing is, casual really did divide a lot of the community, and even more than we were already, and that's something we really don't need. So, casual. Whether you love it, or if you hate it, you have to recognise that it is an integral part of the community and it cannot be ignored. Yes, controversy may have torn this game mode a new arsehole after that certain update, but in reality, nothing really changed in the game modes themselves. People seem to complain that the old pubs were so much better, the glory days where everything was so perfect. The casual is some new shitty version that really just doesn't work. But in reality, pubs and casual aren't that different. You see, the thing is, casual has one massive problem. Free-to-plays. Now, put down your pitchforks. I am no way saying that newer players are bad, or that they are the reason this game is dying. In fact, I'd rather argue the exact opposite in all honesty. However, the root of the problem does lie in the casual system itself and how it transports these players into games. Let's flash back to pre-Meet Your Match, when we had Quick Play. Quick Play servers were a cesspool of dancing, hats, shitty binds, and insanity galore. Not unlike casual is today. However, the problem lies in the ratio. Let's just say for every 2 free-to-plays you'd have 6 experienced players, making it a little bit even, giving you a nice blend of the good players, the bad players, and everyone in between. And that worked fine, for the most part. And if it didn't, auto-balance. This meant games were fair and interesting. They wouldn't be too easy, but then again they wouldn't be too challenging either. However, this has changed because of many factors. Nowadays this ratio can be put more down to an experienced player for every 3 free-to-plays. That's from my personal experience at least. And well, this isn't brilliant. Yes, it's quite funny to laugh at that one sniper who's been shooting at a wall for the past 30 minutes, and then having your team of 5 free-to-play snipers, 1 AFK heavy, 2 scouts who can't find a point, and then 10 people doing the conga does get a little bit old. And boy, it gets old fast. You may be wondering, but Doomsday, why did this happen? Well, this massive shift in the ratio can't actually be put down to one specific reason. In fact, there are many factors that cause it. If only someone could list them all into a simplistic but organised manner. If only someone could do that. See, experienced players are leaving. It happens. We all get burnt out of things, we all get bored. Whether it be a game, a hobby, or anything in life really. Sometimes we just need a break. It doesn't matter if they just threw out video games, took up something else, or even joined a different community, because, funny enough, people do that. When your game is reaching its decade mark, this has to be expected. Not everyone can stay by a game for so many years, our tastes and opinions do change. See, the next cause is how casual integrates people together. The thing is, if you're brand new to TF2, what's the first thing you're going to see? Casual mode! So you click the little button and boom, you see fancy medals, stats and ranking systems, and a real way to progress. We all love that feeling of accomplishment when our medal ranks up or we change level because we're being rewarded. Like we're actually achieving something. See, now imagine casual is the first thing you start to play in TF2. You get around to level 10, you're really proud of yourself with your little badge, and before you actually realise there's other games in this. And you decide to look at them, community servers. I mean, they're cool and all, but where's the badges? Where's this sense of accomplishment? So they go back to casual and they keep levelling up their badge, because it's nice to be rewarded, it's a reason to stay. And this just means that a lot of newer players are staying in casual games. But then, where are all the experienced players? Community servers. As someone who has previously owned, moderated and administrated them, I understand community servers pretty goddamn well. And well, this is where most experienced players go. No one really likes change. So many people just stuck to their good old pubs or, well, the closest thing to them in their opinion. And this was just added on the fact that many people wouldn't want to leave their community for the new casual game mode. This has created the lack of experienced players in the casual games. And if any of these community players visited casual, they'd likely be put off by the amount of inexperience and just go back to the original place where they can have fun games with people at a similar level to them. And who can blame them? So you see, with all these things combined, it kind of does ruin casual. It just creates that massive split in the player dynamic, and that has been plaguing the game since Meet Your Match came out. And it kind of does ruin the game for a lot of people, especially me personally. I'm sure you can relate to a lot of this, but as a medic main, a class who literally depends on the skill of his team, it's kind of painful to have a bunch of new players shooting at windows and going the wrong way to the point. So to have your team like this is kind of distressing and does make the game a little bit boring. Now please don't get me wrong, new players are great. They are really what the game needs. Without free-to-plays, we wouldn't have a game. We wouldn't have them. We need free-to-plays. We need new players. Without game mode coming to the big old double digit, we need as many new players as possible. But we still need to mix in the experienced players and the new players to keep everything enjoyable. Because without that mix, the ratio just stands in stark contrast to each other. And that doesn't work. It just makes games dull and boring, too easy, too hard. It just doesn't work. Overall, the biggest problem is that this is a never-ending problem. It's so hard to stop. With these more experienced players leaving, less of them are going to play casual. And this makes a majority of games full of newer players. This then causes more of those experienced players who are sick of the amount of free-to-plays just to leave and to play something else. This thus makes the problem even worse, and if this just keeps going, it's going to be a cruel loop. But then, how do we break it? How do we escape this chain reaction that really doesn't seem to end? Well, the stigma around these newer players is that they're bad at the game. And well, that's to be expected. We were all like that at one point. However, there seems to be no real support for these newer players. There are no real tips to tell you maybe we shouldn't have 7 snipers, or maybe we could use a heavy. Training mode is also an absolute joke, and the community really does nothing to help these newer players anyway. See, a start to solving this problem would be to help these new players. Maybe encourage them to change classes if it just isn't working. Try to teach them how to play a little bit better, to work with the team. Just don't yell at them for being bad. Valve also needs to desperately update the training mode. Considering it isn't even finished yet, that's a massive problem, and that really does need to be changed. If we start teaching these players to be better players, perhaps the game will become a little bit more enjoyable for everyone playing. Maybe casual will be a little bit better as an environment. Lastly, one of the most needed features of casual is actual matchmaking. Perhaps you could have an option or a little tick box that says, please put me with similar players, instead of just random people who are far below your rank. If this was an option, you could actually play with people who are similar to your level, instead of just a random assortment of people that are below level 10. This would mean that more experienced and quote-unquote better players would be able to enjoy the game a little bit more, having an actual challenge to play against. And then the worst players wouldn't have to worry about being stomped or being rolled or only to be spawn camped by that one dude wearing an unusual in the game. It really would be a simple fix. We all do have the leveling right now. It's just we don't have that matchmaking. And it's such a simple fix that could really work wonders. Thank you for watching, everyone. What do you think about casual? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Please leave a comment down below telling me what you personally think. But before I end this video, I want to thank everyone for putting up with me. I apologise for the lack of videos and the artwork being released, as cliche as it is, I have had a lot on my plate with schoolwork, and this has caused me to fall back on my schedule a little bit. But thank you so much for your support. Getting to 700 subscribers in such a small amount of time is absolutely fucking insane. I really can't thank you guys enough. Thank you so much, and good night.